What's up guys, my name is Matt, and about 2 weeks ago, I posted 3 videos from a previous project of mine called Project Hideo, where I completed 1300 patrols and tried to give you an idea of how effective they were when it came to gaining faction reputation. I've returned with another set of data I've gathered that focuses on Archon's Forge. For those that are more interested in my previous project, you can find links to the videos and the Reddit post in the description, and for those that want a too long didn't read version of this project, skip to the times shown on screen now. Now, like last time, I have documented and compiled all the data in a Google spreadsheet, and you can find that in the description as well as a link to the Reddit post tied to this project, which I called Project Splicer. Unlike last time, however, there is no method that will get you a massive amount of something or a massive amount of rep. This is simply raw data gathered from 250 instances of Archon's Forge. Now, before we dive into any information, there are a few things I want to mention not specifically tied to the project itself, and a few clarifications about the project that you'll need to know in order to fully understand the goals. For everyone new, and for those that may have forgotten, my entire focus is on these projects. So when it comes to videos that aren't tied to them, regular videos won't be occurring on a regular basis. But when they do occur, I can promise they will be as high of quality as this video and the previous 3 that I posted. For those that want to keep up with my projects and want to have regular live interaction with me, I also want to remind people that I have been and will continue to stream a minimum of 4 days a week over on Twitch. So if that's something that sparks your interest, the link to my stream is also in the description. But enough self-promotion, let's get into some clarifications about Project Splicer. First, I didn't collect any data on random engram drops, so there is no data when I randomly killed a Vandal and got a random blue primary engram. Nor did I collect data on whether or not I got an offering during the encounter itself. I did, however, document what difficulty the encounters were, such as Fused, Enhanced, and Perfected. I also collected data on whether I presented the offering or someone else in the instance presented it. I collected data on the type, such as Dreg, Vandal, Captain, etc. And when it came to drops, the data is exclusively from boss kills. So with all that out of the way, let's get into the nitty-gritty and talk about the 4 questions I wanted to answer with Project Splicer. First, does it matter if I present the offering, and will it lower my drop rates if someone else presents it? Do the drop rates substantially differ between difficulties, such as Fused versus Enhanced versus Perfected? How common are specific difficulties and their types? And does a difficulty affect your chances of obtaining specific drops? I'd also like to note that with every question I answer in this video, I'll explain what I feel you could take from the data. There will also be extra information presented in the video that I won't be discussing that pertains to whether or not I presented the offering. I know I've already stated it, but if you want to look at an in-depth breakdown of this, I did post it over on Reddit, and as I've stated, that link is in the description, as well as the spreadsheet I used to collect the data. But with all out of the way, let's start answering some of these questions. The first question I'll be answering is how common are specific difficulties and their types? Over the course of 250 Archon's Forge completions, I completed 122 Fused, 89 Enhanced, and 39 Perfected. So to answer the first part of the question, there's a 50% chance upon doing a random Archon's Forge that it'll be Fused, a 35% chance it'll be Enhanced, and a 15% chance it'll be Perfected. When it comes to type, over the course of 250, I completed 52 Dreg encounters, 47 Vandals, 41 Captains, 55 Shank encounters, and to clarify, this also includes Shank Masters, and 55 Servitors. When it comes to the raw numbers, this is 20.8% chance of it being Dreg, 18.8% chance of it being Vandal, a 16.4% chance of it being Captain, and both Shank and Servitor encounters both at 22%. So why is this information important to you? Every week, Shiro presents us with 4 bounties, and a majority of the time, these 4 bounties include some sort of Archon's Forge completion. While I could dive incredibly deep and tell you that you have a 3% chance of having to do 1 Archon's Forge to complete a random bounty based on the numbers, I simply want you all to have a rough idea on how likely certain difficulties and certain types are. The second question I wanted to answer was, does difficulty affect your chances of obtaining specific drops? And to avoid going super deep into the numbers and making this video way longer than it needs to be, I'm going to tell you right now that the answer is no. While doing this project, I didn't see more Saladin's Vigils in a Fused encounter or more But Not Forgottens in an Enhanced, and I didn't get more Ghosts in a Perfected. This is simply not the case. Nor are there exclusive drops tied to specific difficulties or types. I saw every drop type in every difficulty across all different variations. There should be no reason to go into the Forge wanting a specific drop and thinking you're not getting that drop because you're doing a Fused Vandal. And as I said, to avoid going super deep into the numbers, I hope that you can just trust me on this information because I'm simply trying to save you time as the viewer. But if you want, I've stated it before, the link to the Reddit post as well as the spreadsheet are in the description. And if you really, really want to, you can comb through the data and make this decision for yourself. But as I said, there's no variation. The difficulty doesn't affect your chances of getting something specific. But to keep things moving, let's answer the final two questions. Those being, do the drop rates substantially differ between difficulties, such as fused versus enhanced versus perfected, and does it matter if I present the offering, and will it lower my drop rates if someone else presents it? Now with these questions, I want to say I collected the information on engram drops throughout the project. That would include any rare and legendary drop, helmets, primaries, it doesn't matter. I did collect all of that data, but my focus was meaningful drops. And by meaningful drops, this would include class-specific legendaries such as the Dream Eater set or the Stellar Impact set, the Saladin's Vigil, the But Not Forgotten, the Questing and Pursuer Shells, and artifacts. I also want to state that this will be the most number-heavy section of the video, and I'll be breaking down each part by not only difficulty, but if I presented the offering or not. So first, let's take a look at Fused. I received a grand total of 10 class-specific drops, 5 when I presented the offering, and 5 when I didn't. I received no Saladin's Vigil during Fused encounters, 2 But Not Forgottens, both when someone else presented them, 8 Questing Shells, 3 when I presented the offering and 5 when someone else did, 3 Pursuer Shells, 1 from my offering and 2 from someone else, and 9 artifacts, 4 when I presented and 5 when someone else presented the offering. This breaks down to a 26% chance of receiving a meaningful drop overall during a fused offering, with a 33% chance and a 24% chance of a drop when I presented and when I didn't present the offering respectively. Next, let's take a look at Enhanced. I received a grand total of 7 class-specific drops. Again, a reminder, that would be a mark or a stellar item for a Titan. 1 when I present the offering and 6 when I didn't. I received 2 Saladin's Vigils, 1 each when I presented and when I didn't. No But Not Forgottens, 6 Questing Shells, 2 when I presented and 4 when someone else did. 2 Pursuer Shells, both when I presented the offering, and 8 artifacts, 4 when I presented and 4 from someone else. This breaks down to a 28% chance of receiving meaningful drop overall during an enhanced offering, with a 29% chance and a 27% chance of a drop when I presented and when I didn't present the offering respectively. And last, Perfected. During Perfected encounters, I received a grand total of 9 class-specific drops, 2 when I presented the offering and 7 when I didn't. I received 3 Saladin's Vigils, 1 when I presented and 2 when I didn't, 2 But Not Forgottens, both when I presented, 4 Questing Shells, 1 when I presented and 3 when someone else did, 4 Pursuer Shells, 1 when I presented and 3 when someone else did, and a total of 10 artifacts, 2 when I presented and 8 from someone else's offering. This breaks down to an 82% chance of receiving a meaningful drop overall during a Perfected encounter, with 75% chance and an 85% chance when I presented and didn't present the offering respectively. So what does this all mean? To keep it short, whether you do a fused or enhanced, you have roughly a 27% chance of receiving a meaningful drop, and roughly an 80% chance during a Perfected encounter. And these chances are not increased if you present the offering, and they are not decreased if you don't. So to answer the questions of do the drop rates substantially differ between difficulties such as fused or perfected, and does it matter if I present the offering, and will it lower my drop rates if someone else presented? And the answer is yes. Perfected offerings are substantially better for gear by giving you nearly a 50% greater chance at a meaningful drop. And no, it doesn't matter if you present the offering. Now, for those that skipped to this point in the video, here's what you missed in the last couple minutes. For everyone else, here's a quick summary. It does not matter if you present the offering or someone else does, the drop rates stay relatively consistent. Oddly enough, when completing a fused and enhanced offerings, I expected enhanced offerings to have a slightly higher drop rate than fused, but both were consistently around 30%, while perfected stood at the top with nearly an 80% drop rate. Upon receiving a SIVA offering, there's a 50% chance it'll be a fused offering, a 35% chance it'll be enhanced, and a 15% chance at perfected. And difficulty of the offering and type of the encounter will not affect what you'll receive, but instead how often you receive something. Now, at the end here, I do want to say this. I want to thank you guys for the support and feedback with these videos and projects. The sub growth and views have been amazing and have made these worth my time and a little bit overwhelming, to be honest. I will continue with future projects, and if you'd like, you can follow my progress over on my stream. The link is always in the description, but I want to assure upon completion of each project, I will always bring it back here and post any findings I have. These projects do take a long time to complete, so I'd greatly appreciate if you hit that like button, if you shared the Reddit post, the videos I make, and my stream to your friends. And finally, I'm open to any feedback, and if you have any suggestions on projects, don't hesitate to let me know. Again, I want to say thank you. Your support has been overwhelming, but for now, like always, I'm going to get out of here, say my name is Matt, and I'll see you guys next time.